Hi guys, my name is Paul. Welcome to part 3 of my ZoekJaar journey series. I'm going to be talking about getting the Nuffic evaluation of your master's or postgraduate diploma as a requirement for getting a ZoekJaar or orientation year visa. I'm going to be going through a screen grab of the requirements and on the Nuffic website. Nuffic is also known as the International Center for Accreditation in the Netherlands, and it's sort of like a higher education institution. You can check out the application form, which have already been downloaded here. This is the application form for the evaluation. I'll be going through it in a second. Just checking out other pages on the website. Required documents, obviously the application form, but thankfully the application form also lists the required documents and the entire procedure is laid out in the application form. You can just go through the website as an extra precaution, but you honestly just need the application form for all the information. So basically you need a copy of your diploma, subject lists that go with the diploma, and your valid passport ID or residence permit. In the case of, since you're not in the Netherlands, your valid passport. So there will be additional documents, which I'll explain on the form, especially for those of us in Africa. And if you want to evaluate your master's degree, which is typically your second higher education degree, and I believe if you're looking at this for the purpose of a ZoekJaar, then you're definitely doing so in the need to apply for an evaluation for your master's. You do need a copy of your bachelor's as well, but they're going to evaluate your master's, but you just need to have a copy of a bachelor's degree and some other extra documents. If it's your PhD, then that you need to evaluate, then you also need to submit both your master's and your bachelor's documents. Then of course you need a translation if documents are not in Dutch, English, German, or French. So there's a link there to help you get sworn translations. I was very lucky that all my education has been conducted in English, so I did not need this. And you do not need to send certified copies of your diplomas. You just need, and you don't need to have with an apostille. However, there's a caveat to this because I'll explain this later. So, as much as it says you do not need certified copies, there is something that relates to having original, or what should I say, trusted copies when it comes to sending this, and I'll explain that shortly. Yes, so regarding payment, as you can see, a regular payment for the ordinary service is almost 150 euros, and it takes 4 weeks to process your application. But if you want it within 2 weeks, there is an urgent one where you can pay about 213 euros. And when you make this payment, it must be this is the amount they must receive. So you make sure that the cost of sending the money is excluded from this. There are a bunch of exceptions on when you do not need to make a payment, but I think if you're applying for ZoekJaar, you probably do not qualify for those exceptions. How to make a payment? Obviously, they give you an IBAN number, or if you're using paying from the Netherlands, you can use this IBAN number. If you're paying from abroad, you can use this BIC number, which is also a SWIFT code. And this is the address, and I advise you to use TransferWise to make this payment. If you're paying from abroad, look up TransferWise. They have really good rates, and you can basically pay using your card on TransferWise, and it'll save you a lot of money than having to pay using your local bank. Alright, so this is the application form, and as you can see, the form is very, very comprehensive. It explains everything that you need to do. It also talks about the cost once again, how long it takes, and the contacts for the email address. So if you're applying for a ZoekJaar, I believe you'll be applying as the diploma holder. So no, it's not a company, it's not a municipality, it's not another entity that's requesting it. It's you who is the diploma holder. You tick the one you want, whether you want a normal or urgent one. Since you're not applying as an organization, so you'll be applying as a diploma holder, so you don't need to fill this in. So you'll just need to fill in this part of the diploma holder: your names, your date of birth, your telephone number, and importantly, write the address where you would like to receive the evaluation. Now, if you have a very good postal address system in your country, then it's fine, you can put it here. But in my case, in Uganda, I do not trust our postal system to be that efficient and quick. So if they're gonna send me my evaluation to Uganda, I wasn't trusting that. So I was lucky enough, I had a friend in the Netherlands, and I advise you to search within your contacts, and chances are, if you've studied from abroad, perhaps in the US or the UK, maybe somewhere in Europe, you might know of someone from the Netherlands who is living in the Netherlands, or through your social circle. I advise you to let them know and use their address to receive the evaluation. I say this because if they send the evaluation if they had sent it through the Uganda postal system, I was probably going to get it within maybe a month after they send it out. But these guys, if you send it to a friend of yours, then they can send it quickly off to you using DHL. It can take a couple of days, or they can scan it, the evaluation. Because when you do apply for the ZoekJaar, you do not need to show them send the original evaluation. You just need to send a copy of it. So they can, once they receive it, they'll receive it in probably 1 or 2 days from Nuffic, and they can send it to you in a scanned form, which you can then attach and complete your application for the ZoekJaar. And these things take time, so I advise that you do that to be time cautious. Otherwise, you can still receive it if your postal system is great. Yeah, then in my case, I did my master's in the UK, and that's the one we're evaluating. I put the name of my course. This is the year I graduated in. My diploma is in English. This was the University of Manchester. Field of study, again, my course, how long it took, simple questions. Why I need the evaluation? I put as other reasons, so I put for ZoekJaar application. And so yeah, then here you have to fill in all the information regarding your education history, right from primary school, secondary school, vocational, additional. So please have that information handy. Obviously need to give some information on your relevant work experience. And here I'm going to talk about the documents you need to send. So yeah, this is a very, very, very comprehensive piece here, and make sure that everything is included. If it's not included, we cannot evaluate. So you need to have a completed application form, which is this form, your diploma that you want to have evaluated, and make sure that the diploma is received from your school, and it must have your name on it. So when you send a copy of the diploma, something about secondary school or vocational training diplomas. To be safe, just prepare every piece of academic document that you have. Yes, of course, diploma from higher education, send a copy of the list of subjects, so that's like a transcript, and possibly a certificate, and of course your ID. Now, if your diploma is not in English, Dutch, French, or German, then you must have a copy of a sworn translation. Your diploma, if your diploma is a master's degree, then you need to send your bachelor's. If your diploma is a PhD, then you send your bachelor's and a master's and any other thing before that. Copy of a statement of approval for accreditation. You need this document when you apply for with permission of UVW. I do not think you'd need this if you're applying for the ZoekJaar. If you're from any of these countries listed, there are additional documents you might have to send. In the case of Africa, you have to send your diploma from your secondary schools as well. So in case of Uganda, I sent my UCE and UACE copies of my certificates. Remember, these are not certified copies, they're just ordinary copies, okay? And then they do some basic checks here, your signature, and then they want you to send all these documents. It clearly says no original documents, just send copies to this address. Now from Uganda, it was going to probably take a long time to send this via the post office to get there. It was probably going to take maybe 3 weeks to a month to get there. So I just decided to send them an email. As you can see, you can send an email with all the documents. I just sent an email with scanned copies of all my documents, and they confirmed receipt of these documents. So just look at this information carefully, send them an email, they'll acknowledge receipt and give you a code. I believe the code is your surname and year of birth, and you can use that code as a reference when you're making the international wire transfers payment. Again, the payment details are over here, and yeah, I think that's it. You'll get your evaluation in the mail, or which you've sent it to after it has been processed. I think I need to mention about the document is the document, your diploma, is that your diploma must be submitted by your educational institution. So for example, here it says, because if you've received official transcript with your degree, please have the educational institute send it straight to ICW in a sealed envelope. We cannot accept a copy of this. So in my case, I contacted my university. Good enough, there's a website where you can order transcripts and ship them across the world, and I had them send my official transcripts to the ICDW in the Netherlands. So to pay attention to this, they will not accept your copies of your transcripts, official transcripts. If you have transcripts, please have your university send it to them, separate from you sending to them. Okay? All right, I guess that's it, really. All right, yeah, sorry for the long video. So just a quick recap, make sure you scan all these documents and have them ready. I advise you to send an email with all these documents to Nuffic, ICDW, whatever it's called. I'm just going to refer to it as Nuffic. And I advise you not to send it over the post. It's going to cost you money, but you can send it over email. Have your university send your official transcripts also to that address. They'll sort themselves out and they'll figure out which is which. Pay using TransferWise because it's faster and it's much cheaper than your bank will charge you. And please, if you can, have a friend in the Netherlands receive your evaluation so that they can send you a scan quickly, so that you can have all the documents you need to apply for the ZoekJaar as soon as you can, because it's going to take a long time waiting and you want to do this as fast as possible. So thank you so much for watching the video. Please comment, like, subscribe, and shoot me any questions you might have. All right, I'll see you in the next video.